So this is my music magazine analysis. This is Joe Long. So going straight into it, the first magazine we're going to be doing is Total Guitar, which is obviously a guitar themed magazine relating to rock or types of genres like that. Starting with the front cover, the magazine uses a clear masthead that clearly contrasts with the background colour, so the Total Guitar being black and the background being white. The body copy is also very original as the font swerves across the main image, making the magazine look unique and more professional. It also uses many plugs and has a teaser at the top left of the magazine to attract people interested in guitars, which is the main genre of this magazine, so you can get a free clip to go with your guitar. The audience for this magazine would be for male adults, young and old, purely because the magazine leans towards that sex appeal and might not be as interesting to women. That's a stereotype there. Also, people who love guitars, as pointed out by the title. But I would also say that this magazine leans towards the old-style rock genre, so I would also say rock lovers, as guitars are mainly associated with it. The cover artist is being presented as a hard, stern musician. Both of them are just standing there. Their facial expressions very stern, and the other member behind him is playing. The guitar also gives the impression he wants to play and adds to the genre of the magazine. Linking with that, their pose, their gestures, they're just, they're standing there holding their guitar. It's not like you stereotype with rock artists, being, arrogant or ferocious or anything like that. The magazine is representing itself as a very professional and instantly hits you with the central image being an artist holding a guitar, which is stereotypical of the subject of the magazine being involved in the image. The clear body copy is also very slick and clear, as well as most of the plugs, emphasising the clear presentation and stereotype of a guitar magazine, not being too messy. Going with stereotypes here, the long hair and fur coats could be seen as a stereotype of a rock artist. Furthermore, the facial expression isn't as ferocious, like I said, and in your face as some rock poses are, so I would classify his expression as a counter stereotype. Moving on to the contents page, and as you can see here with the arrows, all images of people with guitars relating to the main subject of the magazine. This also expands the genre of the magazine, giving a better idea as to who it involves, such as rock, indie. This is used throughout the contents page, so the page numbers in that sense, to show the main popular talking points in the magazine and what pages you can find them on. You can tell because they have images, whereas the other pages don't. Going to the Learn to Play section of this page, it offers a very effective teaser as it entices the reader and adds to what you will get out of this magazine, as well as information and pictures, but also learn something. So you can learn how to play a guitar, which is a nifty teaser they've added in. Going to the bottom right section of the page, the contents page is similar to the front cover in the sense that it predominantly uses the cream, white and black colours. The red and green are only extras like arrows and page numbers, whereas the black and white is always text. So linking with the front cover, it gives a really professional sense to the magazine, simple but professional, and you can really see the themes linking there between the two pages. Moving on now to the double page spread, and we have an interview with Slash. There's a topic which could be considered a counter stereotype, as Slash answers a question about cooking, which isn't normally related with rock artists and would stereotypically involve with tattoos and hairstyles. So this double page spread shows a Q&A with Slash. Going on the right side of this now, it says that the page is basically presented as a Q&A from people who have contacted on social media or by email. So, most of these artists are quite old-fashioned, you could say, but, rock and roll. And using Q&As and stuff like that and getting questions from people on social media, that's a really modern thing to do. So it shows that this magazine, although it might be presented as quite old-fashioned and to the point, it's still using modern techniques like Q&As and getting people involved. And linking back to the stereotype and counter-stereotypes, like there, a question of Slash being asked about cooking, that is a counter-stereotype, as, most people would see rock artists, talking about tattoos and hairstyles, well, maybe not hairstyles, but tattoos, and just focusing on, like, their hairstyles or, gigs and stuff. Now we're going to the bottom side of the page, most of Slash's interview is all first person. All of the writing is in a presentable font, as well as picking out a quote from his interview that could attract readers in some way. And Most of the writing is formal and doesn't contain any colloquial language in the lead up to Slash's interview. So, you know, this double page spread is very professional, and you can clearly see, you know, why it's a very popular choice. Now, moving on to our next magazine, it is Pop Fiend. We are going with We Love Pop. And starting with the front cover, the central image of Ollie Murs is very friendly, which is stereotypical to this genre. The salute could be seen as direct address and make the reader feel like it's towards them. So you see him there. The body copy is clear as it's based on top of the central image. It's a pun which relates to the jolly mood the magazine is representing. Moving on now to the left side, it says that the teaser appeals to the target audience, female teenagers who like pop artists. So, you know, it's no surprise to see teasers mainly focused on the female gender, because, you know, normally females are associated with, you know, the pop genre, and as it's Ollie Murs on there, you know, it's no surprise to see that. The logo, masthead, is suitable to the pop genre as it's a funky title with a sparkling background making it stand out. You know, this also linking to the stereotype of, you know, mainly females being linked to this. The target audience for this magazine would be teenage girls, aged between 11 and 19, who are also interested in pop music or certain pop artists. It could also be aimed at teenagers who like certain male artists. For example, Ollie Murs has a lot of female admirers. This links with the presentation of the magazine, as the style of the magazine would attract them, making the magazine more appealing. And this also links to the magazine represented as colourful and bright, making it seem friendly and eye-catching. The bright colours and countless images also make the magazine seem welcoming and bagged with gossip, which is also related to pop magazines as a stereotype. This is talking about the contents page in this sense, as you can see by the arrows. And now moving on towards the double page spread, we can see Ollie Murs over there, and if we zoom in here, the font is easily readable. They've highlighted the quotes that readers would most want to read and have asked stereotypical questions of his love interest and about his own fame. So it talks about Caroline Flack, another celebrity that Ollie Murs may be, you know, in a relationship with. It talks about that kind of gossip that girls would be interested in. It pulls out a quote here that would interest or shock the reader and make them want to read on. The genre for this magazine is clearly pop, which is presented very well by the magazine. Clear examples can be found in the text, as well as informal language can be seen instantly, but it's fine as it matches the type of genre the magazine is and you stereotypically find in this piece. So yeah, that's all about the pop now. So if we move on to our next magazine, it is Q magazine. Now this is a very professional magazine. It's you know, it links to both the previous magazines we've looked at. So if we go to the front cover now, you can see the teaser, the masthead logo that Q, you know, always has on the top left, the buzzwords, exclusive with the Pro Green track. The body copy is used in a quirky font, while it's also pink, which gives connotations of females and links to the fact that Lana is also wearing a tiara. The colour also makes it stand out from the rest of the writing. The central image of Lana is represented strange, yet when you read the cover line you realise it's a pun, what's so bloody good, relating to the blood on her forehead and the fact she is wearing a tiara, making her seem perfect. The stereotype of her wearing a tiara means that she is almost perfect, you know, in having that stereotype towards, you know, females wearing tiaras being perfect. This magazine would be targeted at mainly females, older teenagers and young adults. The bright pink colours give away the central target of attracting pop lovers and Lana fans. The male minority may be interested in the smaller stories of Kings of Leon or Pro Green. Now moving on to the contents page. The page looks very professional, emphasising the quality of this magazine, and the cover line at the top of the page, discover great music. The contents page is presented as very simple by just having the page numbers on the images. The smaller stories have information rather than images to also help the reader. The colours are also simple, just being red and black. Also, notice how the main story of Lana Del Rey takes up the majority of the page, then the plugs that appeared on the front cover, Kings of Leon and Pro Green, and then the smaller stories that might be of interest still have much smaller, you know, stories with no picture due to the other stories being seen as more important or interesting. And finally, this is the double page spread. I've written a lot here, so I'm only going to say one. At the bottom, another reason this is a more modern pop type magazine is because this is a lot more simple yet professional, whereas some other pop theme magazines with Lana would be filled with bright colours and colloquial language, which this magazine doesn't. So that was my analysis. I hope you enjoyed it. You can read what's there